So thank you all for coming along to Young Carer Action Day 2023. It's fantastic to see so many of you here. We had a brilliant event last year at the V&A and we got such great feedback. We wanted to do even more this year, so it's not just a one-day event. We're here for 3 days, taking over the Overgate and sharing with everybody in Dundee what it's like to be a young carer in Dundee at the moment. I'm Sarah and I'm from the Carer Centre, but we can't take any credit for any of the exhibitions or any of the roadshows that have been happening in schools across Dundee and in CLD youth clubs running up to today. That has been Young Carers' voice. They have organised all the events, they came up with the theme, and they've been ably supported in delivering all of that activity by our Young Carer ambassadors. So, we've got a couple of guests to share some thoughts with yourselves. Before I hand over, I'll just say who's going to be doing what. So first of all, we'll have Rihanna and Cameron, who are two of our Young Carer ambassadors from Harris Academy. We're then going to have some words from Audrey May, who is Chief Exec at Dundee City Council and has been an amazing support to the Young Carers agenda. And then Peter from NHS Tayside, who will say a few words. And then we will have Stuart and Ken to cut the ribbon. So I will hand over to Rihanna and Cameron, who are the most important speakers of today, to share with you why our theme is so important and what the impact of the roadshows has been.
So we're here today to make people aware of what young carers do in that at school. So it's important for young carers to have support in school because not a lot of young carers can get out to see friends in that. So Harris, they're great at supporting young people with young carer roles and that. And I have to say thank you to Mr. Stewart for that because he's always there to help. And he understands if we can't manage one day because of a caring role and different stuff. So Cameron's going to tell you about the roadshows.
So the roadshows, we've been doing them with S1s, the new S1s that might not know what a young carer is. So ambassadors have been going around the schools doing games and to chat about what a young carer is and see how many people know what a young carer is. And Harris, personally, we've seen quite a big number of people coming to our group because of those roadshows at Harris, because we've seen about 8 to 10 people come out and say that they're a young carer because of it. And it's just really fun to see how many people just coming up and just having fun and having a break, because being a young carer can sometimes be quite tough because you might not, as Rihanna said, you might not have as many friends because you might not have time to go out to see your friends, and you might need to care for your parents or anyone literally in your area, like neighbours, friends, family. And it's just a really good community because you find quite a lot of friends that are young carers and they understand you. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thanks, Sarah, and thank you to Rihanna and Cameron, and always the tough job to follow the young people because they're who we're here for, and they're who really understand what it means to be a young carer. We all try to get into their world, but it's their world and we should listen carefully. So good morning from me as well, everyone, and I hope you're feeling the warmth of welcome in this new venue. You're right, Sarah, last year it was a really great experience to be in the V&A, but it's lovely to be in the heart of Dundee in the centre as well. So once again, it's my honour and my privilege to share a platform with our young carers and to share, to be part of today where we share, we showcase, we celebrate, I think really important, the great work of our young carers in Dundee across our schools and, as you said, across many other community groups as well. As the Children Family Service, we continue to be so proud of you all. Absolutely, we appreciate what you do for the people in your lives that you give care to. The recently published report from the Carers Trust annual survey reminds us that being a young carer is not a choice. It's who you are and it's what you do. And over the recent years, with significant pressures on families, the cost of living crisis, the post-pandemic years, we're hearing that our young carers are feeling even more pressure around the worry about the rent to be paid, the fuel bills, the food to be bought and paid for. All of these are adult problems, but these are the problems that put additional pressure on our young carers, and sometimes to the detriment of their own health and well-being. And that's why it's so important that the partners here surround them with your love and your concern and your care and your ear for them, so that we can help to alleviate these pressures, because we don't want to see these impacting negatively on their future opportunities. Yet, and amongst all of the pressures, you've got great kids like Rihanna and Cameron coming up and really being ambassadors and champions in our schools and in our community groups. You raise awareness, you run campaigns, look at the work you produce, it's amazing. And most importantly, as you said, you help identify other young carers so others can come forward and get that support. You really are amazing, you really are, and you should be so proud of yourself. Something that's really important is you help others to find their voice. That's really crucial. We value that, we respect it, and we admire you. And as the authentic voices of young carers, you give us, the partners here, the services, an insight into what you need and what we need to do to change, to improve, to continue to support you in your amazing roles as caregivers. So I want to thank you, all of you, for days like this. It's such a joy for all of us to be here. Also want to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to our colleagues, to our partners, to the people in our staff in our own services, and to the work of the Dundee Care Centre, and a special hello and welcome to your new boss. The work you do together is fantastic, and so huge thank you to all of you for this great work. So thanks for being here, thanks for showing your support, and please enjoy seeing and hearing about the amazing work that's happening here in Dundee with this fabulous and amazing group of young people, supported by pretty good adults as well. Thank you.
From our partners at NHS Tayside.
Certainly. Thank you. I hope you can all hear me. Good morning. It is my absolute pleasure to speak to you all on behalf of NHS Tayside as a non-executive board member. I'm standing in for our chair, Lorna Burst-Stewart, who's currently on a leave of absence. She's really disappointed in not being able to join you all here today, but she does send a note of thanks, of congratulations and of best wishes to you all. Now, I don't intend speaking for long. There are far more interesting people to hear from and things to see. Everyone here is fully aware that a young carer provides unpaid care and support to family members who are in need of such, whether that be due to the likes of, but not limited to, disability or long-term illness. Now, through my dealings with young carers, it is clear that they themselves can benefit from the contribution and sacrifices that they make. The levels of commitment, affection, maturity and responsibility required to be and demonstrating within the role of a carer can support children and young people develop the skills required for life, learning and work. However, the demands of caring can also be onerous and can have an adverse effect on a young person's health and well-being. So it's essential that our young carers are and feel supported. It is clear that across Tayside we have a wonderful support network assisting children and young people in providing care for their loved ones, but also in looking after their own well-being. So I wish to thank everyone involved in pulling this event together, but also for your efforts day in, day out to our young people, fulfilling our priorities of ensuring that our young carers are identified, provided with support and assisted to manage their caring responsibilities, whilst also looking after themselves and continuing to enjoy childhood, adolescence and opportunities that they are in danger of missing out on. I wish to take this opportunity to recognise the contribution to the young carer subgroup by our wonderful school nurse team, and a thanks also to our vaccinators that are present too. Now, I'm also a trustee of NHS Tayside Health Fund, and I'm chair of the Charitable Funds Committee. Now, our role is to empower the third sector in enhancing population health, and I would welcome the opportunity to speak to you today as to how we may be able to facilitate such support. And lastly, to all of our young carers, you matter. You make a difference. Your generosity has a profound effect on the lives of those you care for. Your willingness to spend your time, share your talent and your childhood by undertaking such a role says a lot about you as human beings. Your willingness to give, to help others, speaks to both the strength and quality of your character. When you care, you're making a commitment to share that most precious of resources, time. You make life better for those in need. While I know that you do so without expectation of being recognised and rewarded, I'm absolutely delighted we're here today to do just that. So, I wish to let you know that how impressed we are by your dedication, and it is appreciated, valued and cherished by so many. Whether you've been a carer for some time or whether you've only recently started undertaking such responsibilities, it's important for you to know that what you do makes a difference. So finally, on behalf of the Board of NHS Tayside and NHS Tayside Health Fund, we thank you sincerely and we look forward to continuing to supporting you all. Let's enjoy our day. Thank you.